The year of the fire horse is finally here, y'all. I have been waiting because this year of the snake was painful, and I need you to hear this message. If you have been waiting around thinking that some miraculous thing is going to happen and then everything's gonna unfold, this energy of the fire horse is going to eat you alive. In this episode, I am going to break down exactly what the year of the fire horse means and how you can use this energy to amplify sales, aka money, in your business more than you ever have before. So buckle up because this energy is not messing around. So I want to start off by saying Happy New Year. I started celebrating the Lunar New Year 4 years ago, and it was a game changer for me. We're always out of town for the Christmas holidays, and we would get back on like the 30th or the 31st, and it just felt so rushed to get into the traditional January 1st New Year. 4 years ago, I was taking a feng shui course with my girl, Christina Hollinger, shout out to her, and she introduced me to this Welcome the Wealth ceremony that takes place on the Lunar New Year. Now, the Lunar New Year changes every year, but it's usually sometime at the end of January to early February. This year, we are kicking it off on February 17th. This year, 2026, is the year of the fire horse. Now, the Chinese zodiac has 12 animals, okay, but there's also an element that is assigned every year. The elements are 2 years in a row, right? So we are leaving the year of the wood snake and entering into the year of the fire horse. The last year that we had a fire horse, because it only happens every, I believe it's 60 years, was in 1966. Now, I'm not a history buff, okay? But I did some little Googling. And in 1966, there was a lot of things happening that have shaped the history of where we're at today. One of the biggest things was the feminist movement that was happening in 1966, okay? Women were fighting for equal pay. I feel like we're still fighting for this, but they were making strides, okay? And that was a huge topic within the feminist movement, is like, how do we get women to be more recognized and visible in the workplace? Remember that word visible, because we're going to come back to it. It's really important this year. We also were at the height of the Vietnam War. There was conflict. There was a lot of revolution. There was a lot of ideas about how this war should be fought. And there was a lot of passion, right, and clash. We're seeing that again right now. It's so true when they say history repeats itself. And there's a specific reason, because this element of fire and this characteristic of the horse are really bringing that. The Beatles were also very popular in 1966. They just released a new album. So, you were at the height of this new music movement. And so, yeah, there was a lot happening in 1966. And we are about to embark on the 2026 version of that. Now, you might be thinking, why does this matter for me, and how is this applicable to business? There is a lot of reasons why you should care about this. But before I tell you how we're going to use this energy, I want to take just a few minutes to reflect on where we're coming from. Because in order to understand how to amplify this, I think it's really important to just think about this past year. A bulk of 2025, up until February 16th of this year, 2026, we were in the yin wood snake. It was also a 9 year. You get 9 by adding 2 plus 2 plus 5 in 2025. Okay, and that's also really important as we talk about how to use this new energy. But we were in a 9 year, which is at the end of a cycle, because 9 is the highest single digit number. So we were at the end of a cycle. We were in the year of an animal that represents shedding, right? Like a snake must shed its skin in order to thrive and become new. It's transformative energy. Anything that was not worth your energy or attention to start this new cycle was really probably putting pressure on you. This year probably felt slow because we were in a yin energy. Yin is slower. If you're looking at masculine, feminine energy, it is more on the feminine side. It is definitely more reflective. It can feel very much like, why is this taking so long? And that is like when you think about shedding, that's sort of the process. Shedding doesn't happen fast. We're moving into yang energy, okay? Yang is masculine energy. It's fast, it's rapid. And then we combine that with the element of fire, the movement of the animal of the horse, and also a 1 year. So 2 + 2 + 6 = 10. 10 is not necessarily a number in numerology, so we add that 1 + 0 where we get 1. So we're starting this cycle over, and basically we have a blank page, and we get to decide how we want to use this. Okay, so I wanted to set the stage because it's really important that you understand all of those pieces as I break down exactly how you're going to apply this now as a business owner, to your career, to really level up your sales game. Because at the end of the day, I know that if you're running a business, you want to call in more money. Otherwise, we just have a hobby. We don't have a business. So there are very specific things that we are going to do so that we can actually flow with the energy rather than resist it. All right? So here we go. Here's how we're going to start to use this energy. The first thing is visibility. This is not a year to hide. If you're watching this on YouTube, you will see that I am wearing magenta and red. And these are colors that are going to magnify and allow you to feel magnetic to the people out in the world, right? So I want you to use like your physical, visible presence a lot more than maybe has felt comfortable for you. If you're not naturally extroverted, or it's something that you feel like, ooh, this feels a little sticky for me to be seen, this is not the year, babe. We need to figure out how to get you seen. And I don't mean that you need to wear red lipstick and go out there and put on, boas and big jewelry if that's not your thing. But I do need you to be authentic and show up exactly who you are. People are literally allergic to inauthenticity this year. So really being visible is extremely important. The second main theme here with Year of the Fire Horse is speed, okay? Again, I've said this a few times. We are going to be moving fast. But think about other times you've moved fast. What else happens with speed? Misalignment, right? Impulsivity, doing things out of haste, moving too quick. So when we move without that authenticity piece, or we move just for the sake of moving without it feeling aligned to us, we can really risk our launches feeling flat. We can really miss connecting with potential clients. It is very important that we move still at a quicker speed, but not so fast that we are being sloppy or messy. Those are the core themes: visibility and speed. Here is the Fire Horse sales truth number 1. People buy from decisiveness this year. Waffling and just sort of being wishy-washy are going to murder your momentum. So what does this actually mean? It means you need cleaner offers and clearer offers. So cleaner and clearer offers are going to be vital. This is going to allow you to be more visible because you're going to be able to talk about it more and not muddy the waters. When we have so many options and we are on a sales call and talking with a client and we present them with 3 different things, you have just now put them in the driver's seat, in essence. You have just put so much on them, and they were already coming to you to try to get some clarity of what to do. And you just are like, well, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Instead of being the expert and saying, hey, we've just spent X amount of time together on a call. Based on everything you just shared with me, this, in my expert opinion, is going to get you to your goal fastest. You see how that changes the momentum? Because they're coming to you because they know you can help them. So help them, guide them, be clear. One way of communication, right? Be very, very clear. We also need to be firm with our prices. We cannot be like, well, so it normally costs $500, but like I could do 3. No, babe. No, we are not doing that. No wishy-washy bullshit this year. We need to be clear, clean, and firm with our offers and our pricing. That is one way. That is your sales truth number 1 on how you are going to activate and embody this energy. Here is Fire Horse sales truth number 2. Your visibility, which I've already talked to you a lot about, is going to convert more than your strategy. This means saying the real thing you want to say, not the thing that the industry says you should be saying. But what do you really want to say? What is the problem you truly solve? This is the year to become recognizable in your industry. And again, visibility does mean in your physical presence, like how are you showing up, like what are you wearing, but also in your energy. There is energetic visibility. And if that is not a term you're familiar with, I invite you to embrace that this year and really try to understand energetic visibility. The best way I can explain it to you is, you know, when someone just walks into a room and you either instantly like them or don't like them and you have no knowledge of anything about them, and so you have no reason to feel the way you do, that is energetic visibility, okay? So I want you to think about every room you walk into, whether that's a little Starbucks to get your coffee, whether that's into your kid's school, whether that's on your sales calls, every place you go, I want you to be thinking about what is your energetic visibility like and how do you create an energetic force field around you that is magnetic as fuck. Like, how is it that everywhere you go, people are like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt, or oh my gosh, you just give me such a comforting presence to be around, or I'm not even sure why I'm telling you this. I just feel like I can share these things with you. Yes, that's the vibe. Energetic visibility on lock. Here is the last Fire Horse sales truth, number 3. Your desire is going to sell more than logic. You know, it is just human nature to share and sell all of the things that come with your course. Like, you get one-on-one time with me and X amount of calls, and you have this many modules. That's not the thing, babe. That is not what we are selling. What we are selling is desire. More important than anything this year, you need to understand who it is that you help and how you help them and the deepest desire that they possess. Because they don't care how many calls you're offering. They don't care about any of the frills and fluff. What they care about is the transformation and the dream. I really want you to also focus more on the possibility for them, okay? So we are trained often, if you have had any kind of sales training, to really like dial in on someone's pain point. And that can be effective, but usually you are then kind of like poking at someone's trauma and they're focusing more on like the pain of their situation. What I have found exponentially more effective is to actually talk to someone about like the dream, paint the picture. And really, even if it's weight loss, if it's your VA service, if it's business coaching, I don't care what it is. Think about where your person wants to be and ask them, how would their life be different if they had that thing? When they realize what they're missing out on, they're going to sell themselves. That eliminates the work you have to do. Sales, this is not convincing energy. The year of the fire horse is about instinct and desire, not convincing, okay? So you really need to understand your person and their deepest, deepest desires. Here's the last thing I'm going to share with you about this energy. One of the things I haven't touched upon yet is rest, okay? When you are moving as fast as this energy wants to take us, it's going to mean you're going to get tired. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel like, whew, this feels like a lot of effort. And it's really, really important that you schedule and prioritize your rest. And even if that sounds counterintuitive to everything I just said, when I'm like, yeah, we're moving quick and it's going to feel like hustle bustle. The other main like underlying tone here to all of this is for it not to allow you to burn out, because that is one of the, what do we call it? Like the red flags of this energy is that it is possible to feel burnout. When we are aligned and when we are moving and saying the things that feel authentic to us, that also helps to prevent burnout. But nonetheless, it's going to feel fast. So prioritize your rest. To wrap this up, the year of the fire horse is not asking you to be louder. It's asking you to become undeniable. Your sales this year are going to come from clarity, courage, decisiveness, your willingness to be visible and say the thing. It is not going to come from hustling or contorting yourself or your offers to be the thing that you think somebody wants, or like, here, I'll just say I do this thing so that they'll buy. That's not going to flow. It has to come from this deep place of desire, clarity, courage, passion. And this is exactly what I help my clients do. We come at sales from a place of wholeness, not from self-betrayal. There is a lot of sales techniques out there that ask you to really like change who you are on the call. But here's the difference. When you are doing the sales for your company, you're not just a salesperson and then that person's going to like go off into the company and never see you again. When you are on a sales call or when you are doing your content, this is a representation of what they're going to experience once they're in a container with you. So it's really important that the person that shows up on those sales calls, that the woman who's making that content is the same person they get once they're paying you to be in a coaching container with you. When you are a fierce coach and you're so like sure and certain of the skill you offer, but in the sales calls, you're feeling timid and shy and you feel like you have to change yourself, it's doing you such a disservice. Because if your prospect is seeing you shrink, they're going to think to themselves, well, what is their coaching like? Be gone with that. We're not doing that this year. This is not the energy. You have just gone through a year of shutting. You have literally a blank page before you. We are in a new 1 year with this incredible element of fire, with this incredible animal of the horse. Like picture this horse just running free, unbridled. That is you. So if you are truly ready to magnetize the way you sell in your business and embody and finally feel like you are in alignment, I'd love to invite you to check out all the things that the Beam Life has to offer by booking a discovery call with me in the show notes. I'd love to help you to be able to use this energy on a personal level and take your sales and business to the next level. I hope to see you back here again next week. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to share it with a friend, save, subscribe, leave a comment. All of those things really matter, and I see every single one. So thank you. I hope you enjoy this energy of the fire horse. I know I'm certainly looking forward to it.